As the final 2 days of the Athletes Unlimited Pro Volleyball season arrive, the champ has become the challenger. Bethania de la Cruz Mejia must be perfect if she hopes to catch Brittany Abercrombie. The young opposite has outplayed and outpaced 43 of the world's best players. Will she take the final 2 steps to the title, or will Betty find a way to block Britt from immortality? The penultimate night of Season 4 is served right now. Welcome to Athletes Unlimited Pro Volleyball Champions Week, presented by Baden. We get ready for the first of 2 on a Sunday evening. Team Drews taking on Team de la Cruz Mejia here from the Arizona Athletic Grounds. Base Arizona has been our home for 5 weeks of incredible fall volleyball. Look at our leaderboard. That 2-woman race continues. So much to be sorted there. And behind them, 7 women with a shot to end up on the podium to finish our season tomorrow evening. Everyone looking to take a big step further up the leaderboard. Kevin Barnett alongside Olympian Key Michael. Here we go, Key, once again with 2 teams that were swept on Friday night, but the margins have become oh so close.
Yeah, and not all was negative, even though they didn't get any win points, but the missing pieces were blatantly obvious to me. For the orange side, it's that outside hitting role, whether it's Lekator Member Mene or Allison Mayfield that starts. We need more production there. Same thing on the purple side, but for the opposite, whether it's Haiti Casanova or Sheridan Atkinson, whoever gets the start, I need more out of them.
All right, pins yet to be determined, but in the middle, we were getting the production that we're used to seeing from Molly McCage, who's been a high draft pick all year. Yeah,
we love us some Molly McCage, and she was doing what we're used to seeing from her. Molly on the move that earned that all-position team. We saw her climb up the leaderboard to top blocker, but was a little bit stagnant on the offense last week. She really couldn't find her groove with her setter, but this time around, with Nachi at the helm, Molly has all the speed she needs to be so deadly on that slide, and it showed on Friday. It's not often you see a middle as second top scorer, but the purple will need that firing.
We can't entirely stay in the middle. Kat Bell's been a little up and down this year. She was way up on Friday.
Oh yeah, back in her comfort zone across the pin from Betty this week. Kat was doing Kat things once again on Friday. She's physical, she's aggressive, she is so fun to watch. Currently sitting at 7th in kills in the league, and that's thanks a lot to do with her deadly internal wrist rotation on contact. 14 of those kills I just spoke about came 2 days ago, and it wasn't enough to get the win, but she is going to be so crucial today, especially with the question mark around that outside hitting position.
All right, we talked about the sweeps. There were 6 sets played, right? The other 2 teams won all 6 of them. However, 4 of the 6 sets were determined by 3 points or less, and fully half of the sets were deuce. That is just how close the margins were. We could have easily been talking about splits and the jumble for total points.
And I think the question mark there was how soon do you make the changes? Because both these teams had to make changes, but they waited a little bit late. Purple longer than orange, but if you make those changes a little earlier, maybe you're thinking about a different game.
So let's talk about some of those changes. Heidi Casanova at the opposite position was replaced by Sheridan Atkinson, who promptly went 4 of 6. Who would you have started in this match if you were the captain?
Honestly, I think I would have put Sheridan in there. She's hitting at 250. Haiti is only hitting at 30. So again, if you need production out of an opposite, yes, Haiti will get you some defense like that, but I need more in the offense.
And she gets blocked right away by Lekator Member Mene, who was the player that was subbed out, and the other question mark coming in on the other side of the net.
Yeah, she establishes herself immediately there, and she's a physical player. She's got a lot of jumps. She got those hops. So I like her shutting down Haiti immediately, kind of establishing that dominance.
All right, trying to push it through is Hoffman, and she does. Claire Hoffman coming off of a rough evening of play. She had 5 kills on 29 attempts, hit 138. That is not characteristic of what the #1 draft pick would normally have as output. How do you get her going tonight?
Well, it's interesting because I chatted to her as well, and earlier, before the match, but earlier in the season, she said, yeah, I was used a little bit more as a reception part of the game, a little bit more in the defense. Now, my captain needs me to step up in the offense. I'm used to that. That's something that I do all day long. That's been my role my entire career, so it doesn't faze her that that's what she's being asked to do. However, maybe needs a little faster ball, try and beat the block, because she doesn't have the same physicality as some of the other players.
Lekator Member Mene off a kill, and now an ace. She's adding to her point totals. That'll be 12 for the ace, 8 for the kill. She's plus 20 on her individual stat points immediately here in the opening set.
This was a big talking point as well. Betty put together some fire from the end line.
14th ace on the season for Lekator. She's been a force. Perfect pass this time by Namaris Velez Augusto. Tip picked up by the charging Childress. Outside, Drews got it. So Danny Drews is coming off a very nice night of offensive production despite the loss. She had 17 kills, hit .311.
And that's what she does. She knows that she has to be an offensive part. What she does is hit really high. In that instance in particular, you can see her kind of going over the top of the block in front of her. It's not a small block by any means. In fact, it's her side that has the liability in Nati Valentin-Andersson at the front court.
Missed by Lauren Page. Keep an eye on her. She had 2 aces on Friday night. In fact, that was a bright spot for Team Drews. They had 5 aces on the evening. Tori Dixon back to serve. Backslide was tight. Instead, it's Drews down the line. And she is slowed for the moment. Where do you go? McCage? Bingo. Tight backslide is the winner.
We're so used to seeing Molly go on that long slide, so that just the one step behind is the perfect substitute, because when you have your setter in the backcourt, she's got 3 options. She had Heidi Casanova there. She couldn't run the slide unless they run a complete cross or an X. I like that little back behind.
Casanova can be a weapon from the service line, and she is. That was part of what was missing back on Friday evening. 4-4.
And I think she continues to be drafted because of this. She has this in her back pocket, but she made so many errors in the serve. In fact, 9 errors, I believe, over the course of the season she's made. But this is what she can do when she has a chance.
Right, she had 3 errors, no aces on Friday night. As that ball is dumped cleverly by the Olympian and medalist, Alicia Childress. On Casanova, she was 2 of 17 with 3 service errors.
Yeah.
That's why that tough decision came to mind. How about the opposite spot? Looking good so far as Casanova in a rebound performance here. Short serve. Outside, Drews with that left hand. Back the other way. Haven't really seen Betty yet. Kat Bell throws that one into the net.
Yeah, we haven't seen a whole lot of offense from anywhere on the orange side. Betty hasn't got her sets. Kat Bell making the error there, and Bell was a bright spark for me in the last match, but she's such a confidence player.
Lekator a little bit tight, but it's Kayla Caffey, and it has been a whole bunch of Pat Caffey there in the middle. She crushed a couple on Friday night.
Hot coffee, full steam. I love the way she attacks deep like that, and she's got Molly McCage right in front of her. You have to go high and into the corner.
Betania De La Cruz, jump serve. This is the most jump serve of a match you're going to get in Athletes Unlimited Volleyball. Big stuff by Lekator, member Monet. That's 2 already for her.
So if we had questions about Lekator getting that starting role, she's answering them immediately. And it's not even in the offense, it's in her defense. They're shutting down Molly, who had almost a free angle there because Caffey hadn't made it.
That'll keep Betty at the line. So the big bath goes into the net. And there is Molly McCage. Originally out of Texas Spring. Texas is her home. She was, of course, playing at UT. Jared Elliott, what a success that's been. That program under the guidance of Elliott. Coming off back-to-back national titles is there. Hoffman gets a kill. And we're tied again.
Big defensive effort there on the purple side. I thought that was almost going to be a guaranteed kill. It was just Nati one-on-one in the block. You got to get that kill, right, if you're Lekator?
Well, I wonder, how do you exploit Natalia Valentin-Andersson? We saw Lekator get we saw Natalia get exploited with Team Abercrombie. Who do you match up there, Betty or Lekator? Who do you want up against Nati when she's in the front row?
Either one. I don't think it really makes much of a difference if you're Betty's side. It's more, who do you want to match up against the opposite, because that's the harder role.
Blocked that time by Dixon. Yeah, see, I would have gone with Lekator to try and get her going and put her up against Nati, and then put Betty against anyone. I don't care who it is in the world. You line up anybody over there, I'll put 81.
Yeah, I guess that's the point, is that if you want to give her the easier shot.
Back back-to-back stuff blocks. Tori Dixon making her presence felt. Kind of a quiet Friday night from number 23. She's noisy right now.
This is why she makes herself one of the all-position teams. You mentioned it, she may not be that offensive, but she is always there on the defense.
Another block, this time it's Kat Bell rising up. Woo, a wall. An absolute orange wall has been erected here in Mesa. No one's getting past. Team Drew's gonna take a timeout and see if they can find a ladder. 11-7, Team De La Cruz Mejia. Athletes Unlimited Pro Volleyball is sponsored by Baden. Team De La Cruz Mejia off to a hot start, blocking everything here in Arizona. They're up 11-7. Kevin Barnett alongside Olympian Keem Michael. The third member of our crew, Savannah Collins, roaming the sidelines. Hi, Savannah.
Hey Kevin, I'm going to drive into the leaderboard right now, and this is what I'm most interested in, is the gap right here between Betty De La Cruz Mejia and Brittany Abercrombie. So this number right now is 387. That's the lead Abercrombie has. There's a couple things that need to go right for Betty De La Cruz today to take over this #1 spot. The first is a sweep. She desperately needs it. If she wins all the sets and wins the games, that is 180 win points that are available to make this up right here. The second that she needs is a fire stat point day. She averages about 134 stat points per game. Her highest ever is 200 this season, so she could put this on the higher end today. We're chipping away at that lead. And the third is the MVP point. She needs the flowers, the nod from her teammates and the opponents to possibly get 60, maybe 40, maybe 20 extra points to close this gap. And then the thing that really just has to go her way too is her opponent. She needs to be able to close that gap because Brittany Abercrombie swept yesterday. That's what contributed to that big lead. So as we're looking at today and then on championship day, these are the sort of things that Betty De La Cruz needs to do in order to be a repeat champion in this league.
Savannah, I love when you break it down, first of all with emojis, but also you make the math seem so much easier than when I look at all these numbers on a screen, because you're exactly right. A sweep today for Orange, and maybe a poor day at the office for Abercrombie, which isn't completely unheard of considering her performance yesterday was less than what we've seen from her, even though they did get the win. So totally within Betty's grasp is still to take that championship medal.
Yeah, Brittany Abercrombie had 47 attempts, just 13 kills, hit 191. That is well below her season average of 309. I wouldn't expect another bad match from her, but hey, you can't worry about that. You have to control what you can control. Thank you to the Points Maven for checking in. Yeah. Savannah Collins. All right, action here. Back in set one, Team Drew's trailing by 4, serving Natalia Valentin Anderson, working on Lekator member Monet. And a misconnection, Lekator saves it. Drews, back row, she'll be dug up. Natalia Valentin Anderson sticking in the pocket, as is Manami Kojima. Campfire ball is the winner.
Good work by Lekator to finish that off. But in terms of the questions that Savannah just posed, and Betty having to have a big night in the stats, how many attempts to attack do you think she's had so far?
2.
0. She has not seen the ball at all.
That's wild. I knew that Lekator needed to get started, and maybe you'll lean into Betty later. That ball is wide, and we will have, I believe, our first captain's challenge from Danny Drews. Captain or the facilitator can call a captain's challenge as you look at Betania de la Cruz Mejia, the Big Beth if you prefer, over there on Instagram. That ball initially ruled out. Team Drews challenging that it was in. Our referee crew, Katie Meyer and Julie Boak, are on the case here. Katie Meyer, our R2 for this one.
I didn't see the ball myself as I was just chatting away, but I think this also might be an opportunity for the Drews team to slow down the momentum. Things are kind of slipping away with a 6-point lead going to Betty's side. Now is the chance, now is the time to make sure they don't let that get out of hand. Ooh, it does look pretty close there. Potentially in, potentially touched. There's a lot of opportunities for something to have happened there.
Yeah, that is close. A little shot across the bow there if you're Lekator member Monet. And Key, you got it. That call is reversed. Ball now ruled in upon replay. Team Drews will pick up the point, and to your point, perhaps stay in this first set.
Yeah, so the scoreline will roll back, and we're now looking at just 4. A moment ago, a 6-point lead. That's a lot to make up.
All right, 13-9. Second dump there is no good, but it goes up on top of the net and ends up finding the floor. So that'll be 2 for 2 from the setter position. Lekator member Monet back to serve already with 1 ace. That ball is long.
That'll be a welcome point, but also Paige now back to the service line, and you mentioned she had a great serving day on Friday. In fact, the entire team on the purple side did. They had 5 aces, so that was one of their strengths. We haven't seen that yet tonight.
Mr. First one, that one drops off a shelf. Casanova can't handle it, so a couple of sloppy errors here on the Drews side when it comes to picking up defensive plays.
Yeah, it's interesting because we think of the purple side as a highly defensive side. They've got Casanova in, they've got Nati, Valentin Anderson.
Another bang from Drews, the captain performing on the outside. And now double sub will enter the game for Team Drews. You're going to see Sheridan Atkinson in place of Natalia Valentin Anderson, and Nutsara Tomcom will come in for Casanova. This is the most international of double subs we can have in Athletes Unlimited. Thailand, Cuba, and Puerto Rico represented.
I'm interested to see this as a double sub because we saw it as a straight opposite sub, which I think worked really well. And I spoke to Drews before the match. She said, no, I'm going to let Heidi Casanova have a chance, see what she can do before making any big changes.
Outside, Drews again. This time she is blocked, and the blocking party continues for the women in orange. Savannah, we were talking about some of those roster choices, or those lineup choices. You have more.
Yes, I talked to the orange facilitator, Thomas Robson. I said, hey, what was the matchup where you all were trying to get? Was it somebody on Natalia Valentin Anderson, or was it the opposite? He goes, neither, actually. We wanted to make sure Betty was matched up with Molly. Key, why do you think that is, that's what they were looking for?
That surprises me. I don't know. You've stumped me, Savannah. I think Molly's one of the better blockers out there, so I don't know why you'd want to swing against her. Maybe because Molly was having a good night against Lekator and they wanted to change that, that combination they've seen before.
Yeah, Molly had good offensive numbers on Friday. I think probably the bigger blocker on the pin, although, hey, who has the blocks to start? Lekator. You never quite know how it's going to go. Betty cross court winner. doing battle with Sheridan Atkinson, who had the previous killer. And now we have Tori Dixon jumping in the chair. Tori, tell us about the start to this match for your side. You're up 5 right now.
Yeah, we've just been playing some really clean volleyball right now, getting in good block lineups and serving really well. So hopefully we can keep that rolling.
Yeah, what about the blocking plan has worked? You guys have been impenetrable.
I don't know. We're just trying to stay clean, I think.
To the point.
Yes, exactly, right there. I think the last match we got in trouble, especially our high hands, so we just really wanted to focus on going back to the basics, being simple, not reaching too much, and just playing clean volleyball.
And I spoke to you before the match, Tori, and you told me there was nothing to worry about after that last match. They played well, we didn't collectively, but we wanted to just kind of reset. Do you feel like your team has done that well?
Yeah, I think the good thing about having Betty as a captain is she's really experienced, so she's not going to be the one to freak out or make us practice for 3 hours yesterday. It was just business as usual. They played really well, we didn't. That sucks. Next day.
Betty not running a Japanese club team. Very
Yes.
good to know. All right,
Yes.
Tori, thanks.
Thank you.
Good pass that time by Lekator, and it's chopped inside by Kathy. 19-13. They continue to carry that lead. They're not giving up much inside out here.
Yeah, and I love that there was that huge block right as we're talking to Tori, and they continue being dominant in that area. I still am watching Betty's numbers, though. Only 1 kill.
Atkinson with another kill. Key, you had that clean block. I got in the way and got told.
That's all right.
Sorry about that.
That's all right, teammate. I'll back you up.
7 blocks in this first set for Team De La Cruz Mejia, and it's not even over as the double sub is unwound on the other side for Team Drews. They have some work to do if they're going to climb back in. Remember how important these points can be even if they don't win the set. If they can get closer to that aggregate score, that 60 team points for the overall victory, these points could be the ones that take it at the end. Blast through the hands. That'll be a touch and another point for Lekator member Monet. We wondered what kind of start she might have, and it is a good one. 4 for 6.
And I think that point in particular is meaningful to me because they're targeting her in the serve. That's exactly what the team did on Friday against them. Struggled a bit. She got pulled out of the game. But I talked to her before the match. She said, I was working on passing yesterday, but it's not in my mind. I'm moving on. Anyone can have a bad match. I'm just going to go back and play my game. And I had to apologize to her for even asking about the passing because she doesn't even want to think about it.
She's playing her game. She also has 3 blocks in this first set to go with that offensive production. Back row, Drews might have been over. Doesn't matter. It will go in the stats as yet another block. I think that's 2 for the setter. Well done. A couple of blocks by Alicia Childress here in the first.
Yeah, I love that it's a few different people getting their pieces of it. It's not just one player, but Purple's got to figure it out. They've got to do something different. Maybe some tips, rolls, cuts around the block. You can't keep swinging hard into the bottom of the hands.
Hoffman high into the hands. She'll score the point there, and they're out of rotation 1.
I think Hoffman did well to get through there, but again, that ball still within the reach of the block. How can they tool a little bit more, turn that ball towards an angle?
Lekator, another perfect pass. Opportunity, Team Drews. Gamara steps in. Casanova is blocked, and just keep piling them on. That is 9 in this first set. We are approaching history.
Got to give a lot of credit to the orange side, but again, Drew's side have to find a way. Every single player continues to get blocked. That's the 2nd time Heidi's been stuff blocked. 3rd time even.
And another point for Lekator member Monet. What a first set. What a rebound coming off of a benching on Friday night. I don't think anyone thought that benching would stick no matter how well Allison Mayfield played. Set point. Long. Mayfield did a capable job, more than capable job, subbing in for Lekator member Monet. She has returned with a vengeance, much to the dismay of Team Drews. 2nd chance for the first set here. 40 team points. How about Betty for the win? Got it. We said the margins were small and these teams getting swept on Friday. As they meet on a Sunday, The margin has widened. Team De La Cruz Mejia, 40 points and the win. Team De La Cruz Mejia making Sunday their day thus far. 25-16 over Team Drews in our first set of 6 on the evening. 3 now, 3 in our second match. Thanks for watching Athletes Unlimited Pro Volleyball. And you want to tune in tomorrow as the college basketball season tips off, and we start with the second annual We Play women's event in Paris. That would be Paris, France, not Paris, California. Number 20, Ole Miss squares off against Juju Watkins, and number 3, USC at noon Eastern on ESPN. Is it the year of Juju? That's the question, Key Michael. Then on ESPN2, 17th ranked Louisville takes on 5th ranked UCLA. Basketball getting underway. Men's and women's both starting in the next few days.
Is Juju something similar to Mojo?
Juju what?
Like good Juju.
Yeah. There's a lot of good juju around Juju Watkins this year, that is for sure. And there's a lot of good juju around the blocking for Team De La Cruz Mejia, a ridiculous 9 blocks.
Absolutely unbelievable. They have been shutting down every single attempt at an offense that Purple's been throwing at them. And it hasn't been one player. It's been coming from all over the court. I love that it's been a little bit from the setters. It's been left to remember Monet as well, we had questions about her after that last match, and she has answered them in phenomenal fashion.
Yeah, she had 4 of the 9 blocks. And yeah, what other category would you highlight coming out of a first set like that?
Nothing. Everything else is pretty much on par. So I think that's the challenge right now for the Purple side. How do they get around the block? And I talked about it a little bit. You can chip away at corners, you can get some tips running, you can find those deep lines, but swinging hard and heavy into the bottom of the block, especially on a high out-of-system ball, because Orange has been putting pressure on them in the serve, they haven't really been in system to run what they want to. You can't just swing blindly.
All right, how will Drews respond? What was the plan? We sent our emissary, Savannah Collins.
Well, coming into this game, Purple knew that they had some adjustments to make. One of the biggest ones was scoring in transition. They talked about how that was something that they didn't execute on Friday. And I think the thing that is glaring to me right now is an adjustment they felt like they didn't make in their first match that they really need to. Now, Key, it's what you said, the blocks, how we've seen this Orange defense dominate. The Purple team talked about how they have to find ways to score, and that if their usual go-to shots are really what they're comfortable doing on attack doesn't work, they have to be able to try something different. And when we are seeing this blocking team that has come out from Orange, they're going to have to figure that out in this second set too. Kevin?
Yeah, it's a good point you make, Savannah, about finding ways to get around the block, but they also have to do a little blocking themselves, and they have made a big change, which both Danny and Joe talked to me before the match about. They had waited too long to put in this Sheridan Atkinson change in the opposite, and they said, we're not going to wait that long this time around. If a change has to be made, we're going to do it earlier. They waited till the third. Now we're seeing her start in the second. I think that's an interesting and a smart move by them.
0 kills, got blocked 3 times on 4 attacks. Heidi Casanova, and she finds herself out of the match. We'll see if Sheridan Atkinson can reverse the results. Second set gets underway with Betania de la Cruz at the line. Right to the middle, and Paige sneaks it past Kathy.
Even if Sheridan's not getting the kills here, a perfect example there is that Bell was already gone. She was already committing with Sheridan because she can't leave her alone, leaves a one-on-one in the middle.
Right side Bell, touched by Paige. Atkinson first try, tip just over the top, a teardrop down the back of the block.
And Savannah told us this, right? Purple need to find different solutions. That tip is falling because they've been swinging. The block are in their position, but that's the way to find a spot.
Claire Hoffman's seen a lot of serves here. She'll do the serving. Bell touched by Paige, played up by Drews. She'll get it back. A little bit too far off. Lekator with all that forward momentum. That's what's special about her footwork.
She always does a good job of putting herself in a position to attack. You're never going to see her kind of flailing and reaching forward and out of her wheelhouse. She gets feet in position, goes straight up and down, and then she can make the most of her height, which is not her advantage, especially like against Sheridan on the other side.
Well, that's what I wondered, how much of that learned mechanical approach is due to the fact that she's not as tall as pretty much every other outside hitter.
She can't afford to be lazy. Sometimes you'll see middle blockers, for example, that just throw an arm over here and they're blocking with their feet still on the ground, or setters that are tall that don't get their feet in position. But if you lack that physical capability, you got to make up for it in, exactly as you mentioned, your mechanics.
Lekator member Monet checking in at 5'9". That is rather small by regular college and professional standards at the outside hitter position. It's never hurt Lekator member Monet.
No, makes up for it in every other category.
Indeed, Atkinson here gets around the side of the ball and misses, so the lack of production from the opposite spot continues for Team Drews.
And I think this is a good matchup for Atkinson. She had Lekator in front of her. That's got to be the moment where she can swing line. Instead, she tries to go cross.
Bell again. Little low to McCage, she manages, and if Molly McCage is your favorite player, the AU Pro Shop has you covered. You can get a player t-shirt for any of the players across the Athletes Unlimited Season 4 roster. Both youth and adult sizes are available. Shop.auprosports.com. Atkinson can use that tall frame to drive the ball. She does. Lekator, pass, swing, winner.
And here's another point about Sheridan. She's not getting the aces, but she's also not getting any errors. 0 and 0 in both those categories. That's a positive because you're not giving up points. The negative is that was a perfect ball from Lekator. She barely had to struggle, and it's almost an immediate side out.
Stay calm here.
Lekator the other way. And that ball is hitting to the antenna. Could prove to be an even more costly error given that it keeps Lekator member Monet at the line.
And Lekator is a good example of a high-risk, high-error server. However, if she's getting those kind of results, it's for the positive.
A little bit too far, toss in front, she has to roll it. Over called. And what was a nice play by Childress to reach back and pop that one up. The third serve here for number 22, coming off a bad toss. See if she can set herself up better this time. Her team up 6-4. Remember, looking for that sweep for Betty here, trying to keep her in the championship chase. High over the top of the block goes Drew, speaking of physical attackers.
Yeah, important that she got Leketor off the line there because it felt like it was heating up. That serve just getting a little stronger, little by little, every time she tossed.
I'm surprised somebody like Drews doesn't have a big jump serve.
Got the power for it, for sure.
Yeah, she does. She has the mechanics, the physical capability. Nice play there by Atkinson, keeping it alive. Betty, second time. Not yet. Hoffman cannot get an attack. Dixon, pass, swing, points.
Ooh, that's a pretty contact from Dixon. The ball floating past the block, and this is what's cool as a middle. You get to decide when to cut that ball off. If you see it, if your blockers are floating out, you can snap on it early. If you wait for it to float past, then you can go down the line, which is exactly what Dixon did.
The cage can't get it over, so you have the middles trading service errors.
And here's a comment that a coach made to me in my career at one point, is that there's certain players that are given the green light. If it's a Leketor, maybe it's a Haiti Casanova, they're taking a high-risk serve. If you're not one of those players, sometimes you just got to get it over the net. Allow them to take those big risks.
That's magnified when you have two high-risk servers, as they do here with Bethany De La Cruz and Leketor member Monet. Tip, Atkinson gets it. Kojima creating. Betty taking advantage.
How about that angle? First of all, this Betty Kojima connection that we love to see, and then slicing it under the block. Ooh.
That's filthy.
Disgusting.
Quick outside. Cat Bell right there. Amazed at her hand.
Not Cat Bell looking at the hand. Oh, that's mean.
Usually the hand only gets negative attention when there's a bad swing.
I love it.
No mystery as to what's going on in this match thus far. It has been a block party for Team De La Cruz Mejia. They lead again here in the second. In Mesa, Arizona, it has been all Team De La Cruz Mejia. They lead 35-22 on aggregate, and 10-6 is looking quite similar to the way the first set went to open. College basketball season is about to open. We told you the women's opens tomorrow. Well, our first men's college basketball game of the season is opening night tomorrow on ESPN2, and it's a matchup between number 8 Baylor and number 6 Gonzaga at Spokane Arena. Coverage begins at 11:30 Eastern, 8:30 Pacific time. Tune in. Hoops coming at you from now through March. And Athletes Unlimited Volleyball has been coming at you all fall for the last 5 weeks. We're down to 2 nights of competition. Kevin Barnett next to OCM, that's Olympian Key Michael to you, and Savannah Collins. As we're looking at a Team Drew's timeout here, and we're looking at perhaps the all-position team for 2024. We got pretty close here, Key.
You certainly did. I had a couple different options in there, but I think there's so many good players to choose from. I love that there are 2 liberos this year as well. When you can't choose between 2 of the best in the world, just give both the award. Why not?
Seems valid. They, in fact, did tie on the balloting, so they were both awarded the all-position team. Yeah, I don't think there's much to argue with on this at all.
Yeah, on the opposite spot, it's a shoe-in between the outside hitters. The only one that I had maybe thought, maybe Leketor, remember Monet, but to your point, Maddie's got more stat points there. Molly McCage, she's been phenomenal all season long.
Yeah, and Tori Dixon again quietly killing, and so she gets her second all-position team honor in consecutive years. Page with a nice pickup here. Team Drew is trying to get off the mat. That will be thrown through by Hoffman, and they, out of the timeout, score.
And if I'm the purple side right now, I'm talking exactly about that. Looking at different ways to get the ball down on the floor. It doesn't have to be a hard-driven ball every time. That's a perfect example from Hoffman. Tip it through the block, grab it late and throw it off the block. Do a little Trevor Cleveno, as we talked about yesterday. He's the king at those kind of things.
Oh, he's ever so popular too, the very handsome Trevor Cleveno. Two-time Olympic gold medalist now. France having won back-to-back. Joust at the net, popped up. Valentine Anderson setting end defense. That ball over the top of the block. No touch called. Point for Team De La Cruz Mejia. Okay, Team Drews before that play was hitting 400 as a team, yet losing on the scoreboard quite substantially. What do you suppose is the hitting percentage, the efficiency for Team De La Cruz Mejia right now? As a team, Key Michael.
Higher than that. 800.
560.
Ooh, that's
560
pretty good.
as a team through a set and a half is awfully good. We have our
purple was 400, you said. That surprises me.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like they've been hitting that high. They've been putting a lot of balls into the bottom of the block.
All right, well, we have here a ball that does not look like it touches the top of the block, although Team Drews is challenging it. Key, I have them losing that challenge right now. How about you?
Yeah, I don't think I saw much of a tip or a touch, but I think that's the right idea. Atkinson going high, looking for those tiny fingertips, trying to do something different than what has not been working. And that's the challenge, really, as a captain or really any volleyball player. If you find your tactics not working halfway through a match, how do you adapt? How do you do something different? Orange have put themselves in a position right now that they have taken away the favorite things that purple likes to do. They have made it so that purple has to change. And if they don't, they will fail.
Well, Team Drews has one other option. That's putting Danny Drews herself, #1 there at the opposite spot, but they have to start that way as the challenge is ruled unsuccessful. Because right now they have 3 kills out of that opposite position. All 3 belong to Sheridan Atkinson, but they are 3 kills, 6 errors on 11 swings. Not going to cut it from what should be a high offensive output spot.
And we had that conversation in the intro, right? Those were the 2 missing pieces for both these sides. It looks like Orange has found their rhythm again. That was their question mark, was their outside hitting spot. Lekator has stepped up double time, but yet that piece is still missing on purple, so I think that's going to be the difference here.
Blasted it out of the middle. Hot Caffey, if you're our producers back east.
And I'm also hoping that somebody got Cat Bell in the background there. One of our photographers, please, I hope you captured that mid-air celebration. That was awesome.
Yeah, Caffey a little bit long from the service line, so the service pressure has been there. They've had a couple of errors as well. 6 errors with 2 aces now for Team De La Cruz Mejia.
Got 3 of the best servers in the league wearing the orange jersey this week. On Friday, couldn't utilize that. Now doing a little bit better.
On as a serving sub this time, playing left back is Mitsara Tomcom. Atkinson covering her spot defensively. As is Lekator, but she plays the ball back to where she just came from. And that point will go to Team Drews.
So Nutsara in as its serving sub, but Nati still in to set. Interesting.
Lekator goes high hands and wins. Now, interesting for Nutsara Tomcom, she spends the majority of her career in the right back.
Yeah.
What differences are there playing the left back?
Well, it's almost like flopping your brain to the other side, because if your instincts are to go with your left arm, if your instincts are to go with your right arm, depends on which position you play more often. So that's why you'll see also when the opposite hitter has to swing out of the left side of the court, it's a really uncomfortable looking swing. Same thing in defense. If you're used to playing one side or the other, your body just naturally does some things that it can't do when it's on the other side.
What side is your brain normally on, Keith?
My brain
You're
is
flopping it to the other side.
My brain's just flip-flopping all day long. I don't know. I'm left side of the brain, right side of the brain. Creative, or definitely not a math-minded, whichever side is math.
Betty is obviously over out of the back row there, so Team Drews the back-to-back points there, right back in the set, trailing by 1.
I'm still fascinated at this Betty conversation. She has only 7 attempts to attack, 3 kills.
You have to wonder a little bit, too. It's been such a long season, as it always is when we get down to the end of this 5th week, as that ball's dug back over. How much gas is left in the tank here? Tipped, touched twice, 3rd time is over. Dixon, run to the backside. Dug up, beautiful delivery outside. Childress with a gem. Back to back, the second one is a winner. Nati versus Lekator member Manet.
Yeah, I think that matchup is going to Lekator all day long. But it's interesting you mentioned about this being the end of the season, perhaps some tired legs. 3 veterans in the front court right now for the orange side between Childress, Dixon, and De La Cruz herself. And you could be right. Maybe those legs are wearing out.
Lekator looking down the line, got a little bit too much of it. Checking the shin guards, making sure she's ready for reception here. Lekator member Manet.
I think you and I are both a different generation, but the kids these days do wear the knee pads on their calves, don't they? On those shins.
It's strange. I would end up on my knees, not on my shins.
I don't need to protect my shins. No one's kicking me. This isn't soccer.
Drew's trying to fight that one off. Long distance set, dug by Bell. Betty, no approach.
Whoa, nice one.
Yes, Namaris Velez-Agosto with that dig. And the ball is cut back inside by Hoffman. Liberos creating opportunities.
That's exactly why Manami Kojima goes so high in the draft, because of defenses. This wasn't hers, this was
Genesis Collazo, the miss there. But it's Namaris Velez-Agosto with the original dig. Yep.
Thank you with the names.
NVM.
So many hyphenated names.
Or NVA, pardon me.
But that value, like you say, creating opportunities for your team to attack again.
Tess Clark in to serve. That ball missed. Nati picks it up. And Danny with the set. Claire with the kill. Everyone on a first name basis, and we're tied at 15.
Yeah, let's just keep it a 1 name per person. But speaking of captains making decisions, I love that Danny's just brought in Tess Clark because she hasn't played all season. Give her a chance from the end line to show what she can do. Make some changes.
Ball's tight. Betty taps it through. Team De La Cruz Mejia fighting a malaise a little bit right now. Perhaps that's what they needed. Listen, I know you're on Instagram and you need to follow AU Pro Volleyball. Go ahead and do it now. You've got your phone, your second screen experience. There's exclusive content featuring your favorite players, including highlights, mic dubs, behind the scenes, and more. All of it at AU Pro Sports on social. Hashtag AU Pro Volleyball.
Hashtag just do it, says Kevin.
Exactly. Lekator back row, long. Will we have a challenge?
I thought that was in.
Betty is deciding, and she walks away without a challenge.
I thought it had at least a little tickle of the end line. Lekator has been having such a good day, too. I think the volleyball gods would be in their favor. That's fully in.
I think that is fully in. Kojima pushing the ball perfectly. Danny back the other way, so a non-challenge turns into an even bigger swing.
Could that non-challenge turn into the reason that Betty doesn't get the sweep? Obviously, that might be too much to say, but in the middle of the set right now, momentum is shifting.
Nati causes problems with her serve. How about the offense? Hoffman pops straight up. Right back. Tipped wide.
Another close call there. Is it worth a challenge from Danny Drews? Probably, because their momentum is going.
She already used one. She will not challenge either. 17 apiece here in this second set, racing to 25. Keep an eye on that overall score, 42-33. Team Betania De La Cruz with the lead. tough serve leads to the overpass kill. Lecator member Monet will collect those points created by Betania de la Cruz.
Lecator is just cleaning up today. 15 points. Nobody else has more than 4. She's been dominant for this orange side. Loving this turnaround for her.
Into the middle, excellent touch. Lecator again playing a role in blocking. And offensively, not this time. Claire Hoffman gets it. That rare row 1 where you end up blocking on the opposite side of the net. 18 up. The lead still 9, carrying from the first. Now it's 8 off of that ace. So Claire Hoffman gets 12 points for the ace there.
And here's the danger for the orange side. This is what teams have done to Lecator when she's been on the court, is get that pressure on her in the serve, target her, kind of get her out of rhythm, not only in her reception, but then it affects her attacking as well.
Remember, Monet, that one was going to go wide, and instead it cannot be played. Now, Claire Hoffman's had a couple of very nice plays recently. Savannah with more on her.
Well, this week, as a captain again, Danny Drews said she is not going to let Claire Hoffman pass her by. She said back in week 3, when she did this captainship for the first time in the 2024 season, she went more on numbers versus intuition. She had a tug that said, oh, draft Claire Hoffman, but they hadn't seen a lot from her yet. So she didn't pick her up, and she went to a different team. Week 5, she was a must-have for Danny Drews. And Danny said she is so good at every skill. She is the most well-rounded player that you can get. She's great at decision-making.
All right, Savannah, think good decisions here need to be made for Team Drews. That last ball was out. That one's rolled into the block and into the antenna. There's a choice from the double nickel.
And I like hearing that about what Danny says about each of her picks, because she had such a struggle in week 3, right? We already mentioned it earlier on. She has a completely new roster. Not a single player was drafted from that week 3. But Claire Hoffman, I think we questioned it, right? Does she have enough firepower to balance out Danny Drews on the other spot? I think with Sheridan Atkinson, yes.
Kat Bell has some firepower. She goes inside the block for the 21st point for Team De La Cruz Mejia. Yeah, Team Drews has really been on the struggle bus this year. 0-4 as a captain, Danny Drews. That has to be weighing on her a bit.
Well, I asked her about that, and she said, no, I don't focus on that. I'm focused only on going forward and putting together a team that's going to win. And you mentioned it. She's smiling. She's positive all the time. So I think the only way to win is to look forward.
Yeah, she does suffer from RSF. It is a problem for her. That ball's buried down the line. Some people have RBF. She has RSF.
Resting smile face. I love it.
Beautiful. Look at this turn.
Ooh. All right, Lecator is on one tonight. Even going past Sheridan Atkinson, that's a big block, but a perfect decision to go line.
Lecator, remember, Monet in double figures. Her team leading 22-20. Timeout, Team Drews. And hey, you know, you like to go off the court as well as on the court, Key.
Love it.
Let's see who you snag this time.
Welcome back. We're going off the court one final time, and we have a former champion with us today, the Queen of the Caribbean, Miss Betty de la Cruz. Let me pull her off the court so we can talk about all things non-volleyball. Okay, first of all, I know that your son, Fair, is here this weekend. First of all, he's huge. He's grown so much since the last time I saw him, but does he get any of his personality traits from you?
I think yes. He's like brave. He don't like to lose the games. So maybe, yeah, this is from me, for sure.
I can imagine you guys being really competitive at Monopoly or something like that. But he told me that also you love sushi, you love lasagna, but is there anything in terms of Dominican food that you can cook really well or that you love?
Oh, I can cook so many Dominican foods.
Like what?
I can cook rice and beans. It's really Dominican food. And meat. I can cook so many things. But he loves lasagna.
Yeah,
Also,
so you just make it for him?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
so it's for him. Other things that you love. You love purses, designer clothes.
Oh.
What is your
Who said
favorite
that?
designer? Hey, I have my sources, Betty. I won't give it away.
Yes, yes.
Favorite designer purse?
I don't have like a favorite. I just like a weird purses. I like. And I don't know.
Like a purse from Paris 2020. That's the flex purse. Also, I've seen you do some phenomenal photo shoots. You are one of a kind behind the camera. What's the favorite outfit you've ever worn for a photo shoot?
Depends.
Okay.
Because I have like a volleyball photo shoot, but also I have a swimsuit.
Ooh, spicy
And also dress.
photo shoot.
Usually for my birthday, I wear dress. I maybe do 2 photo shoots, like a dress and with swimsuit.
You look good in literally everything, Betty. Thank you so much. Well, I'll get you back on the court, back into the volleyball mode, and we'll talk about fashion another time.
Key, I want to know what your flex purse is. Do you have a flex purse?
I don't, but I just love because she went to one of her walk-ins a couple days ago wearing a Paris 2024, not 2020
There you go.
bag, and I just thought it was so cool to see that it does, you know, it can be designer, it can be anything, can be fashion.
It's always been a family affair here at Athletes Unlimited Volleyball, the way the athletes are treated, the opportunities for their friends and family to enjoy them plying their trade. Son Fair back with us, a different guy than 4 years ago.
Yeah, his full name is Famous Fair, not just Fair. But yeah, last time, I think he's been with us every couple of years. He comes to Athletes Unlimited, and I got to interview him a couple of times with the Key Cam sideline, and he was 13 years old and a little boy, and now he's a full-grown man. I mean, you wouldn't expect it, obviously, with the way that Betty is physically, but it's just phenomenal to see him here.
Yeah, baseball player, and he spent a lot of more time playing his sport than watching mom over the last couple of seasons here. But good to have him back here at the Arizona Athletic Grounds. Kevin Barnett alongside Olympian Key Michael and Savannah Collins. Second set action here. Team De La Cruz Mejia trying to take advantage of Natalia Valentin Anderson, and that ball is hit long. We are tied 22 apiece. And keep in mind that other score, 47-38. That is the aggregate score that will determine the winner.
And I keep in mind what Savannah told us earlier. Betty needs a sweep tonight to keep herself in the chase.
So huge results here in the next few points. Roll shot cleverly done by the 2-2 to get us off of 22-22.
Man, she has been on another level tonight. How about 17 points already?
Deuce is wild on that play. Look at our leaderboard there. Team De La Cruz Mejia trying to help their captain chase Brittany Abercrombie. The cage slowed. There's that matchup they wanted. Oh, everything was right except for the swing out of the back row.
I said in my head, I know it doesn't count for any points, but I said pipe, set pipe. So I like that choice from Childress. Lakator's been firing, use her.
Inside of every middle is a wannabe setter. That's why they're always trying to throw the paws up there and get pushed down by the setter. Way off the net, Betty trying to hit out. Got it. Set point, De La Cruz Mejia to keep the captain in the chase. They want those 40 set points. And should they get it here, they will carry an 11-point lead to that third set, looking for those 60 points. Huge for number 81.
I need Nati using Molly right here if she gets the chance.
You get that. Dug by Bell. Betty, aggressive tip is good. They close quickly in the second set, 25-23. Completely reversing their Friday momentum. Team De La Cruz Mejia is going to carry a 50-39 lead into the third, and the championship hopes are alive for the Big Beth. 50-39 as we head to our third and deciding set. Will it be a sweep for Team De La Cruz Mejia, or Team Drew's rally and perhaps affect the championship chase? We will see. We do know at the controls will be Natalia Valentin Anderson. Let's go into the game with Nati and the U.S. Air Force.
Oh, I just want to say thank you for all your support. To my husband, Cole, happy birthday. I love you. Let's go. How are you? Good, how are you? Good. Did you nap?
No.
Me neither.
I'm just tired.
Just rested.
Yeah.
Hi, my dear. Hi. Mwah. You're a jerk. You're a jerk. Remember? You're a jerk. You jerk. Let's get ready to rumble! Hey, we got this. Come on, keep pushing. And right here is about us, about believing and playing for each other right now. Play for each other. Hi, hi! Yay! Guys, come on, that's it. Come on, we're done, we're done. Nice serve. Team! Go, go! Hi, hi!
Excellent leadership and energy from 27 there. Good messages. I hope that Cole, for his birthday, got a flex merce.
A flex purse.
Merce.
A merce, a man purse. Oh gosh. I'm sure that that's not what he asked for.
You never know.
I wonder if he's still here. He was here for a couple of weeks, but I don't see him in the audience.
All right, we'll have to check. And we have to check on the numbers here, Key Michael, because 12 kills, 4 stuff blocks hitting 360. The 2-2 of member Manet is a big reason why Team De La Cruz Mejia has won both sets.
Huge turnaround from the last time we saw her on court. She got pulled off because she couldn't handle the stress of the pressure on the pass, but this time she has stepped up in a big way. Offensive, defensive, from the service line. She's doing a little bit of everything. And for me, she was the missing ingredient. She was that puzzle piece that was not yet in place. That piece, that edge piece that you just can't find, that gets stuck in the bag at the bottom somewhere. She was that piece. Now she is delivering big time.
We look at the stats, and another category sticking out, but perhaps for a different reason. The same category.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, so after the match 1, we saw 9 blocks to 0.
Yeah, first set.
And in set 2, now we're looking at 10-1, but don't be fooled because they only got 1 block apiece. So that has gone way, way down. 1, maybe that's a negative on the orange side, but positively, that means the purple side have done what they asked each other to do. They have stepped up and not swinging into that bottom of the block.
See if they can continue to do that here and perhaps reverse the very small margin. First one is off the block and out of bounds from Kat Bell. And Bell is now in positive territory. Just her 2nd kill on 9 swings. An odd one for Bell, coming off of what was perhaps one of her best performances of the year, if not the best. 14 kills, 429 in a losing effort. She'll get another attack here to start set 3. Saying no touch, but it clearly was. It was Team Drew's. Atkinson scoops. Dixon long way around for the winner. 2-0.
I don't think we're going to see a challenge here, despite how much Sheridan Atkinson is demanding it, because 9 times out of 10 there is a touch. Even if it goes into the tape, again, the physics of a pancake is a similar situation. The ball will compress and it will touch some skin.
That ball dug past the pole, and unlike women's college, you can go chase it down. That rule has to change. It's one of the dumbest rules in volleyball. That one off the block and out. Atkinson with the kill.
The chase downs are some of the best parts of volleyball.
Absolutely.
Why would they get rid of that? That's the athletic nature of the game.
Legal internationally for men's and women's, legal for men in college, legal in any pro league in the United States, illegal for women's collegiate because of, quote, safety concerns. I would like to hear someone articulate whatever that concern might be. There's a block the other way by Paige, because I think it's unfounded. We just had a fantastic play. Let them play.
Yeah.
2-2.
One of the few times that I agree with you, Kevin.
Hey, it had to happen sometime.
Oh my goodness.
In 30 matches.
What world are we living in?
Cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria. Drews high, dug by Bell. She's doing a lot of things right now, Kat Bell. Overpass, Manet! Look at Nazi standing in. Hazard pay for 2-7. Again, Betty this time. No Morris with the dig. The roll finishes it of all the swings.
But that's exactly what's working. Purple trying to not swing into the block. That's what you get. More tips and rolls because the defense now is stepping up on both sides.
Hoffman, her team up 1. Lecatore into the teeth of the block. Nomaris Velez Augusto, another excellent dig. Does it pay? No, it's missed. So the law firm of Nomaris, Velez, and Augusto has really picked up in that left back. Former Defensive Player of the Year, number 40. I feel like she's been a little overshadowed this year by Hentz and Kojima. But Nomaris, exceptional in her own right.
100%.
Beautiful delivery, Nati.
And it's a little bit unfair because there are only 4 liberos, right? So each team gets one automatically. So some liberos get plucked off the draft early within the first couple of rounds, and some of them get left to the end, but that's not a reflection of them being poor liberos or not good at their job. It just means, all right, each team knows they're automatically going to get one of the 2 liberos left. And sometimes there's not much of a difference between them. You'll leave it to your last pick.
Yeah, I feel like that position has been an upgrade all year long. Mary Lake coming off of her first MVP honors. We're going to see her in match number 2. And if you'd like to see a volleyball in your house signed by every Athletes Unlimited Pro Volleyball player, you can win it. You can go ahead and register at auprosports.com/enter to win that volleyball. We'll be giving it away. And it might be the next great decoration in your house or gift for someone for Christmas. Nice bump set. Betty tips it into the middle. That's a winner. So both sides having the off-speed success here in the third early.
So selfless of you, Kevin, to think about someone else gifting that ball away. If you want it, you would gift it.
That's right.
I do not believe you.
I've entered 4,200 times. Like Laszlo in Real Genius, I've just had the thing running.
Got AI working on it.
That's right. That's right.
The bot machine.
And if you got that joke, I appreciate you out there if you understood what I meant.
I did not.
No, I didn't expect you would. You have to be of a certain age, Key. Old would be that age.
A lot of the fans appreciate that I had 90 times out of 10 don't know what you're talking about.
It's fine. It's fine. It's how life goes for me. Atkinson, right side. High reach, dug up. Perfect spot by Member Monet. Bell with the termination. Boy, Member Monet has contributed in a whole host of categories. She has 12 kills, 4 blocks. It'll be her 4th dig. To go along with, I can't forget them, 2 aces.
Yep. Yeah, she's having herself a night.
Little 4-0 run for the women in orange. Trying to get 5. That ball tipped out of bounds, and it will be all 5 fingers here. Dixon will stay at the line, 8-4. And the timeout comes earlier. It was 11-7 in the first. It was 10-6 in the second. It is 8-4 in the third. De La Cruz Mejia. Do they have the brooms? Athletes Unlimited Pro Volleyball is sponsored by Baden.
Why not?
The intensity of Natalia Valentin Anderson that's going to be required here. That side down 58-43, 8-4 already here in set number 3. On the other side, Lecator Member Monet has had herself a match. Let's go into the game with the 22.
You know, we out here, we're finna go to war, trying to get this dub today. Love you all. Check us out. Tell your neighbor, I love you, girl. Tell your neighbor, we're in orange this week. Ask your girl, do you because we gonna be puffing all night. Tito, come on. Hey, let's go. Nice job. So good. Hey, let's go.
I mean, if I'm being honest, I definitely did touch that.
Oh, they can tell me that.
Okay, perfect.
I have that. I have that. I have that. I have that.
The Cheetah Puffs. Now we know the name of the orange side. This is the best part of the mic'd ups for me, is that we get that insider knowledge.
That particular Cheeto has been filling these stats all around, and she's put herself in a very interesting position. Remember, Monet popped that one up as well. Back to live action here. Valentine Anderson backslide McCage with the winner. I'd like to remember Monet with 100 more points, plus 60 for MVP, which is entirely realistic right now. She's been carrying the offensive load for Team Dela Cruz Mejia and doing a whole bunch of other things. She could find herself in fourth. That is a podium position.
Okay, last on Friday was a crunchy Cheeto. Now it's Puffy.
That's right. Perfect pass. That'll be 5 there. And another point, I believe that's 3 now for Alicia Childress. Haven't seen her scoring with the dump since the first set. Team Dela Cruz Mejia looking for 15 points here in this third set to close out that overall. They're already close. 59-44. And another block. Boy, that's how it went in the first set. They had 9 blocks in that first set, just 1 in the second. They now have 11 total.
Yeah, here's what Orange was doing so well in that first block. Reading the game, getting their hands in front of the attackers. Purple did a better job of seeing that in the set number 2. They got to keep that up.
Valentine Anderson dunking it straight down. Kathy caught unawares.
Beautifully done. Smaller, undersized, not under gritty though. Not under fight. Are those words? You just combine 2 words together. It's like German, right? Just put 2 words together and make a new one.
Yeah, or Dutch. Used to see the subtitles come across the screen, and I said, what is that? Well, sometimes we put 2 or 3 words together.
Yeah.
And of course, in Dutch, you would have 16 vowels in 1 word.
Yep. The S, the C, the Z, all next to each other.
I don't know how you learn anything with 5 or 6 A's.
Windschutzscheibenwascher.
There you go.
That's windshield washers.
We've had Italian, we've had German, we've had Natalia Valentine Anderson scoring multiple times in the front row.
And there you go, windshield wipers from Valentine Anderson. She is so aggressive at the net. Look at her in terms of height next to any of the other players, and you wouldn't be intimidated. But as soon as you see her play, you have to keep your eyes on her.
Especially when she stands next to Sheridan Atkinson. That is a rather stark contrast, 6'5" and 5'6". Into serve Nutsara Tomcom. She'll be in the left back. Won't matter because Kat Bell puts the ball away immediately, 12-7.
And you mentioned it, Kat Bell hasn't been on her typical scoring run tonight, but there still looks like there's a lot of balance on the orange side. There still looks like there are people stepping up, one or the other.
A service there, stepping up, Kathy.
All things falling into place for the orange side. That serve was missing on Friday, now it's there. The offense from certain players wasn't there, now it is.
8th ace of the season for Kathy, 3rd of this match for her side here on Sunday. Oh, nearly another one. Some confusion for the Team Drew side. Rushing to the net is Nati, and that ball bombs straight down on Atkinson. The 2-2 again, this time blocked by Page.
Oh, hang on.
Ball still alive. Blocked back the other way. Will we have a challenge? We'll see. Namaris Velez Augusto digs the ball out of bounds, and I would expect someone to complain here. We'll take a look back.
Can you challenge though? 1-2. They're saying it was a lift.
No.
Or were they saying it's a double?
I think that's perfectly legal.
I think so too. It definitely wasn't lifted because it came off of the feet and the side of two of the players.
Well, you can't challenge whether it's a lift or not,
Right.
first of all. But this, so block.
Okay, it was two contact? No, because it came off of glass, 1-2, and then she put the third one over.
Yeah.
So maybe she hit it with her knee and her hand. That might be the discussion.
Unless that ball touches Lecator member Monet after the swing here, unless it touches her foot,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
that's going to be legal, because even off a Childress, that's going to be considered a single move.
Okay.
And you can't challenge whether it was a lift.
So, I don't think it hits her foot. It hits her there, but it didn't hit her foot.
Okay.
So that should just be 3 contacts.
Well, you have to have something to challenge. And we do, in fact, get a replay call. Molly McCage, what'd you see there?
I saw, as you would say, a telephone booth, and Lauren got the block. I should have gone purple.
You guys have been trying to kind of fight some momentum here. What would reverse it?
Some of that. Danny Drews just kind of hitting it as hard as she can. No, I think we need to cover well. It really instills confidence in our hitters, and we're just kind of looking confused on the court for some reason. Like, Alicia is over there covering Lek like that, getting in there, and I just think we need to instill some confidence.
And covering is so important, especially when Orange are having such a good blocking night. What is it that they're doing, or what can you do differently to make sure you're hitting around that block?
Yeah, we talked about this on Friday, finding edges. Alicia and Manami are top-tier defenders, but they're sucking in a lot. So finding deep corners and then edges of the block, I think, are just going to help us more.
Thanks, Molly.
Thank you, guys.
All right, here we go. 15th point on the board for De La Cruz Mejia. Would close the overall here. Be 60 points. Huge for Lecator. Huge for De La Cruz Mejia. Not yet. So it'll be a second match ball opportunity coming up here on the side out. And the reason is, once they have 15, there are not enough remaining points in the set for Team Drews to overtake Team De La Cruz Mejia in the overall. Backslide. That's the winner from Dixon, and that'll do it. Plus 60 for Team De La Cruz Mejia. They'll take the overall, but stay for the set, because Bethany De La Cruz Mejia needs those 40 set points. She needs the sweep to really try and put the pressure on Brittany Abercrombie, who'll be active in her next match. That 2-woman chase for the title.
My question mark is, though, and it goes back to Savannah's whiteboard earlier on, she might get the sweep. However, I doubt she's getting any MVP votes, and I doubt she's getting very many stat points of her own. So will it be enough to put her back in the chase?
8 kills, hitting .410. That's a pretty quiet night.
Yeah.
Bethany De La Cruz. She has 2 errors, no aces. Uncommon there. She'll lose a couple points. She has some receptions. Those will be positive. We'll see how it shakes out with the MVPs. Dixon all of a sudden is a major contributor. And quietly 6 of 8 to go along with 2 blocks is Tori Dixon. That's why she's on the all-position team.
Yeah, you mentioned quietly. She and Kayla Caffey have gotten a couple of kills each, but they don't get a lot of opportunity to swing. And that surprises me, considering Alicia Childress likes to get the middle involved typically.
Molly McCage taking that one through the block. A good crowd on hand here tonight, Sunday night. You can come experience AU Pro Volleyball in person here in Mesa, Arizona. Tomorrow's Champions Night. Fan Appreciation Night is also being held, presented by Baden, featuring replica medal giveaways. For the first 250 fans walk through the door, be the first one, get yourself a replica medal. You can put yourself on the medal stand. Go to auprovolleyball.com, buy your tickets today. That ball tipped for a winner as both sides continue to find ways to score. Is it a sweep for Team De La Cruz Mejia? A critical sweep. Both these teams were swept on Friday night. Trying to do the sweeping now is Team De La Cruz Mejia, and they're getting closer.
You called it out earlier. Middles versus setters in that situation, it's usually the setter that comes out on top. It's usually the setter that waits and pushes at the last minute, and that's why there's a little extra smile on Caffey's face there.
Short serve. Blocked high, where do you go? McCage, backslide. And the onslaught just continues. Now 19-11. Kind of a wild stat from Friday night's action as a timeout is taken by Team Drews, their second. The winning side and the losing side, both teams were swept, right? The winning sides were only 18 points apart in total stat points and team points and MVP points awarded.
Yeah, you love throwing numbers at me, but basically that means
they scored almost the same amount of points, and the losing sides also were only 18 points apart, which is also wild that it was that even between both teams in both matches.
Wild.
It is another NFL Sunday, which turns into an NFL Monday. Joe Buck and Troy Aikman will be in Kansas City for the Week 9 matchup. Patrick Mahomes, the undefeated Chiefs, against Baker Mayfield, who's having himself another fantastic season, and the Bucks at Arrowhead Stadium, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ABC, ESPN, and ESPN Deportes. You can check it out with Peyton and Eli once again, the Manning Cast over on ESPN2. NFL football. All right, let's check in with Savannah.
Well, one of the common denominators of all the AU Pro Volleyball players, especially the middles, is how tall they are. So for Berkeley Oblad, who is another one of those athletes, she always has this dream of having jeans that are long enough that they drag on the floor, and that inspired her to start making her own clothes. In July of this year, she started sewing. She comes from a family of quilters, and when her grandmother passed away 2 years ago, Carol passed her down a featherweight sewing machine. She's self-taught from Instagram, and so this is the process of her making the outfit that Molly McCage wore at the PEC photo shoot. If you go on Berkeley's Instagram, you can see all the different collections that she started making, and she has loved doing this process of making her own clothes, and everything is long enough when you make it yourself.
Savannah Collins, Key Michael was nodding along that entire time. That's because one OCM Olympian Key Michael goes about 6'5". You ever had pants that drag on the ground?
Rarely, if ever. And I need to get with Berkeley Oblad because I feel like I need some special made pants. That outfit was beautiful, and Molly looked incredible. I don't know if I'd be able to pull it off as her, but this is a real problem for the volleyball players out there. You know who you are. Look at the long pants. It's not easy.
Berkeley Oblad building the business right now here in Mesa, Arizona with Key Michael. I had a friend, volleyball player, about 6'2", who had her luggage lost. And by lost, I mean never came back. And she lost basically 10 years of stuff she had accumulated that actually fit her body and her feet.
Oh, 100%. I've worn these pants at least 70 times because they're one of the few pants that fit me. I told you this in the car the other day. In high school, I made my own pants because they just weren't long enough. So I understand, Berkeley. I feel your pain.
Bravo for doing something about it, Berkeley Oblad. Putting it together. All right, and then her side is putting it together here. 19-11 in the third set. They're working on a sweep of Molly McCage and Team Drews. Seems like time has nearly run out.
It does feel that way. I think they've already made as many changes as they can on the purple side, too.
Looking to the captain. She'll blast high, over, and out. No touch called. And a challenge called out of there. So the action slowing just a bit with the timeout, and now the challenge from Team Drews. Was there a touch? I didn't see one.
Might be clutching at straws. But again, what else can you do? If you've used up all your timeouts, you're starting to use all your challenges, you've already made all your subs that you think you can use, what else do you have?
Grasping at pearls, I suppose.
How is that different than grasping at straws?
Grasping at straws or clutching your pearls?
Oh, gotcha.
You were clutching your straws and not grasping my pearls.
Look, these words are hard, Kevin. We talk about this a lot.
Well, your words per set have been good this set. You've been excellent. Yeah, good work.
Following my numbers?
The WPS, yes. All right, 20-11. This is course match 1 of 2 on the evening. We'll have Team Abercrombie coming up next against Team Kingdon-Richel, who is the first time we've ever had Maddie Kingdon in that role as captain. She was dominant on a Friday night, both as a team and personally. I'm really looking forward to that matchup as we get near the end of this one. I'll look at our Sunday night showdown.
Yeah, and it's so cool that Maddie finally got herself in that captain's role. We talked about her all season long, how she was putting up the numbers, the MVP points and the individual stat points. She just could not get those wins. And in week 5, finally finds herself at the helm, put together a team that I think is extremely extremely competitive, and I think will be so fun to watch those two get head-to-head tonight.
There's Maddie Kingdon-Russell there with Maddie Bugg and Brittany Abercrombie. Everybody just chit-chatting before the match starts. And what a match it's going to be. All right, no touch called. Another short serve issued. Drews blocked back again. Caffey with the theme of the night.
And it's interesting because Nati Valentin-Andersson has been one of the choice setters for everyone. She's struggling to find someone that can score for her tonight.
5-0 scoring run. 30th block of the year for Caffey. So quick laterally. There again, this one hit over and dug. Betty, no swing. Good touch. That matchup's working out. Betty, left side. No. Danny into the block, into the net and down.
Bit of luck that time. She caught the blockers in the plane of their, not crossing the plane of the net, in their own airspace. Capitalized on that, but again, a low swing in another opportunity. It could have been a stuff block.
Team De La Cruz Mejia has already taken home the overall. The question is, will they take this set? They are now just 3 points away from a sweep for their captain, a sweep for themselves. Like it to remember Monet looking to play her way up onto the podium, but Tanya De La Cruz trying to play her way up to first. It's been an efficient but perhaps quiet night for 81. Fast to the outside, Hoffman blasts, and that ball is long. 23-12.
That looked closer in real time than I think maybe it was, but that's what Purple are having to do now. Swing longer, higher, deeper, and they're just missing by a tiny, tiny margin.
Betty deep corner. Hoffman jams into the block. Bell with the dig. She'll get it right back. Drews back row, yes. Got it. Childress put in the shooting gallery. And now some words between Drews and Bell.
That's one of the coolest things. We talk about it a lot at this league. These players are in the hotel together. There's 44 of them. They switch teams every week. They're training together sometimes. They're going out and hanging out together on their free time. These are 44 family members, essentially, at the end of the day.
Like volleyball summer camp.
Yeah, the sisterhood of Athletes Unlimited.
I love it. It's better than the traveling pants.
Well, it's that too. If you got a few tall players probably exchanging pants as well. Sisterhood of the tall pants. That's what's here at Athletes Unlimited.
24-13, a finish to our first match of the night, looking like a sweep for Team De La Cruz Mejia. Missed there, second chance to close it out. Caffey taking a minus there, -8 on the service area. Hate to do that one right at the end of a set that you've already won.
Come on.
That's it. With the defense here, Atkinson right side, rolled. Kojima diving in. Atkinson blasts hands in and all of those things to score the point.
Purple may not have a chance to get back into this set. I think the sweep is almost a foregone conclusion at this point. I think that's safe to say. However, those individual points continue to rack up.
Dixon pass, stays in front. Bell, right side. Still can't get away from the defense of Drews. Deep corner winner, Atkinson is scoring.
Okay, 2 in a row. Too little, too late, perhaps. But I love those swings from Atkinson. Avoiding the block deep into the corner. Pinpoint perfect.
Nati has to keep the pressure on. She thought that one was a little bit too low. Atkinson again. No. Childress, Dixon. De La Cruz Mejia just unable to connect for the close thus far. Cat Bell dug up. And that ball's finally out. So Kat Bell finishes at 25-16. It took a couple of extra points to win it, but the sweep is the same.
Great teamwork on the orange side. We needed a comeback. We needed to see a few players step up, and they did so in a huge way. Blocking was on fire tonight, and that has a lot to do with the team that Betty put together. There's her son Fair, who will be phenomenally excited that his mom gets the W, gets the sweep, and gets herself back in the chase for the championship.
13 blocks is what happened in this one. That was the story. And remember, Monet with 12 kills, 4 blocks, 6 digs, and 2 aces. She has put herself into that 4th place position, moved her way up with an outstanding performance. The 2-2 is in the front row playing that role for her side.
The bounce back was real. She said it to me before the match. I don't care what happened on Friday. I'm allowed to have a bad night. Tonight, I'm coming out fresh. I'm coming out swinging, and that's exactly what she did. She was powerful from everywhere. The front court with that line shot over the blocks. She was dominant from the end line as well. Just putting points on the board in every way she knew how, and that's the Lecator we've come to know and love this season at Athletes Unlimited. What a way to bring it back.
So Lecator and Betty have some words there after an extremely nice match. Good hug, good camaraderie. Two players that have played together so often this year and had such a good time being alongside one another throughout these 5 weeks here in Arizona. Bethania de la Cruz Mejia stays in the championship chase with that sweep. Let's go to Savannah, who now has Lecator.
Lek, 12 kills on 28 swings. Did you know coming into tonight you would carry the offensive load in that way?
Yeah, no, I don't know. I came in here ready to work hard, and whatever my team needed me to do, I was prepared to do it.
You've told me the confidence that Betty instills in you. Was there something in particular she told you in that hug once the game ended?
Yeah, she told me a really good job. She knew how hard I was working yesterday in practice after the game that happened previously, working on my passing, working on my high hand swinging. And as soon as the game ended last time, she was like, Lek, like I trust you. And that put a lot of, I don't know, it made me feel really confident that she trusts me no matter what happened. And so I came in here ready to work, and I'm trying to get this win for her, and we got the dub.
I see that emotion when you talk about her. How has she invested in you and believed in you in this season?
I mean, from start to finish, honestly, from the very beginning, we were paired up together. Like, I have so much love for that woman. She has such a big heart. She's not just like a really feisty competitor, but she's like a really good human. And so for me, I feel like the really good human part matters the most. And so, yeah, like I love that girl to death. Woman, I love that woman to death.
After that performance tonight, you have shifted into the top 4. There's still a game to be seen tomorrow. But for you to finish at the top in this group of the Athletes Unlimited season, what would that mean to you?
Honestly, just glory be to God. Like, I'm just grateful to be here. You know, I came in here with no expectations, just ready to work and continue to get better, and that's just what I'm going to continue to do. And at the end of the day, I know I put my all into it, and so whatever happens at the end is whatever happens.
Thanks, Lecator. Congrats on a great game. Kevin Key, back to you.
I love that from Lecator. We can talk about numbers and stats and this leaderboard all day long, but it comes down to the people, and that is what is so special here at Athletes Unlimited. Betty de la Cruz getting herself in the 2nd position, but Lecator creeping her way up to the 4th, but they give each other credit. They see in each other value and teamwork and leadership, and it's such a beautiful thing.
What will Morgan Hens have to say about that 4th place spot for Lecator member Monet? We will see in our 2nd match. She and Team Abercrombie will be out. For right now, it's Team Drew still looking for their first victory. They fall victim to a 2nd sweep in a row, this time at the hands of Team De La Cruz Mejia, 75-55. Athletes Unlimited Pro Volleyball continues tonight on ESPNU at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Team Kingdon Richel against Team Abercrombie. Key, Savannah, and myself will be back. Thanks for watching.